welcome to a special edition of our Southend-on-Sea and EMT podcast. We've gone away from the usual aspect of players talking about their teams or memories. We're very pleased to have on today's show Sam and Natalie from Paul Robinson's, who have been our main sponsor since 2015. So welcome Sam, welcome Natalie.
Hi.
Okay, so just a quick introduction. If you can just say a little bit about yourselves and when you joined Paul Robinson, your backgrounds, that'd be great. So first of all, you, Sam.
Gosh, well, I'm managing partner at Paul Robinson's. I've been here for getting on for probably 24 years. Yeah, we're a company that's spread across Essex. We've got offices in Southend, Billericay, Benfleet, and recently we opened to Stratford. And yeah, we're a mid-sized law firm covering all core areas.
Yeah. Natalie, yourself?
I'm the Marketing and Business Development Manager for Paul Robinson Solicitors, so I look after all of our sponsorships like you guys, all of our sort of networking events and events that we put on in normal times. Obviously we can't do that at the moment. Also look after our social media and all of our business development side, and I oversee the marketing for, as Sam mentioned, our 8 core areas.
So when did you join Paul Robinson's, Natalie?
I joined almost 4 years ago now. Yes, it's gone very quickly.
Okay, so coming on to sports, your involvements in sports, you play, watch?
I've always played sport, not at a particularly high level, but I've always been interested in it, and I watch sport as well. And there've been various connections locally, which has meant we've got involved with various sports clubs, something we enjoy doing, and I think it's a good way of supporting the community and obviously getting our name out there at the same time.
Yeah. So what sports were you involved with, Sam?
Tennis and football were probably my 2 main sports. Yeah, but as I say, only at a certain level.
That's fair enough, same as most of us. And yourself, Natalie, you sporty?
Yeah, I used to play netball when I was younger, and dancing. I think that counts as a sport now. So yeah, been dancing since I was 2. You know, tap, ballet, modern, jazz, all of those sort of things. And while I was studying at university, I also taught tap and modern. So yeah, I've always been, you know, involved in dancing and really enjoyed that, and you know, enjoyed watching dancing. But I can't say I'm a massive football fan, but I do enjoy going to the cricket. Not very good at playing cricket, but I enjoy going to it and watching it.
No, that's great. Okay, so coming on to the sponsorship of sports, where did it begin? Who was the first?
I was thinking about that. It's probably the first main sponsorship was probably Southend Football Club. We've been sponsored there many years, but it's interesting you say that our sponsorship with yourselves goes back to 2015. It's amazing how time flies. I mean, we've been sponsors of the Rugby Club, the Billericay Football Club for numerous years now. So yeah, it dates back a long time, and there have been relevance to it, such as at the time we started sponsoring Southend Rugby Club. One of my partners, Andrew McClintock, was captain there, and it just seems to work very well. And obviously, staff enjoy going along to games and supporting the clubs, and it's sort of got ebbed from there.
So you say Southend Football Club was the first one, was it?
As a lawyer, I wouldn't hold me to that, but I think that was the first one.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think it is Southend Football Club was our first one.
Yeah, and going on to the rugby, that came. So Andrew was playing at the club when you decided to sponsor them. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You find out so much. So I didn't know a great deal about Southend Rugby Club until I went down to watch him, and then you realise what a great community club it is, and it was good to get involved, and it's been nice to have the continuity of carrying that on over the last probably decade, I would think, getting on for that.
So yeah, it's been a huge shame for them this year that in their 150th year, nothing has happened really.
Yeah, I think like everyone says, once we're through this, we've got to make the most of it and sort of make up for lost time. But to be honest, it's been good carrying on sponsorships whilst they haven't been able to play, because it shows that you're there to support them. It's not simply just to be there for the match days, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's great to say. I was at school with Nathan from the rugby club, and I know the hard work he put in before COVID to get everything in place for their 150th year celebrations. So it's been a real shame for them that it couldn't happen, but as you say, it'd be postponed till next year and then carry on from there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know they had a lot planned, and as Sam said, hopefully, we can, carry on supporting them throughout the 150th year, and that they'll still put on all the events that they've planned, and people will still be able to enjoy it, which I'm sure they will.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be the case. So what was the motivation in getting involved with sponsoring sports clubs? Is it the community aspect?
Yeah, I mean, we're not a firm that runs sort of adverts in newspapers and that sort of thing. So I think we always figured that it was if you had a budget for your marketing, it's good to put it into something that actually gives back. And of course, I personally enjoy going to all the clubs and so on. So it's proved to be a win-win, really, that we get to sponsor things we like, and there's always been a connection with the various clubs, which makes them relevant. It wouldn't be relevant to suddenly support a club that we had no connections with, I think.
No, that makes sense. No, that does make good sense. So coming on to when you joined, when you sponsored the cricket club, how did that come about in 2015?
I think we had a few mutual connections at the time, and knew a couple of the players, and we were keen to do it. I suspect we'd already started with Billericay Cricket Club by then, and so it seemed logical to have another cricket club in an area where we operate.
Right, yeah, it's a good sport, good youth connections as well with both football, cricket and rugby, which obviously is a big part for you guys, I guess.
Yeah, and that's something we've got to see over the years, and it's made an attractive thing to sponsor.
Okay, so who, as you say now, is it Billericay, West Ham, Southend Rugby, and Southend Cricket? Are they the only clubs you sponsor, or is there more?
Yeah, I think you've mentioned pretty much most of them. Yes, so West Ham's mostly our newest club that we sponsor and are legal partners of. And then, as you've mentioned, Southend and Billericay Football Club, and then obviously you guys and Billericay Cricket Club. And then in recent years, Basildon Rugby Club as well, we've sponsored.
Yeah, and we also have obviously other sponsorships with theatres and the yacht club and so on. So we're always trying to stay involved with the community. But I think you've mentioned the main sports teams. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's good. So with so do you have plans to increase the sponsorship of what clubs, not monetary wise, but do you plan to add more clubs to the portfolio, or do you just see how it goes?
I think we always keep it under a few, but at the moment we are sponsoring the sports teams that are in the locations where we have offices. Yeah. So logically, it would probably be more a question of continuing with the existing sponsorships. Yeah.
And do you get clubs come to you, or do you tend to find them for this?
It's a bit of both, really. I mean, where you get known in the community, people often approach you, and I think in some cases they've seen the sponsorships we've done elsewhere and approached us. So yeah, a bit of both.
Right, that's good. No, that's fine. So coming on to West Ham, you mentioned that have you sort of increased your involvement with West Ham? Do you say you're legal partners now?
Yeah, we started, actually, it coincided with our opening of our Stratford office. Right. So again, it was another club in the same location as one of our offices. And yeah, no, that's worked very well. And it was good to see them having a successful season.
Very much so at the moment. So if West Ham were to get into Europe, does that make a big difference for you as a company, or is that by the by, you just want them to do well?
I think you always want your clubs to do well, but obviously I think you support the club whether in good or bad times. Yeah. And I think in the main, people just hopefully like the fact that you're prepared to support teams. But obviously if they were to get into Europe, that would be make them high profile, which can't be anything but a good thing, I would say.
That's it. Would that open another sort of avenue for you, European business, or is law, as a layman who doesn't really understand these things?
Over to marketing, I think, for that.
I think that because obviously our bases are just in England, and the law that we specialise in, we can only give advice on the law of England and Wales. So unfortunately, it wouldn't open up massive business for us in Europe. But of course, we do act for clients that are based all over the world. So I think that if we was to get well known in Europe as well, then that couldn't be a bad thing. And hopefully, people that are looking to invest in property or open businesses up in England or Wales, and we'd be more than happy to advise and help them. So yeah, hopefully they will get to that stage.
So you picked a good time to get involved then.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
So it's been 2 years now that we've had our Stratford office open and been their legal partners. So it seems like time's sort of flown by over the last year, even though we haven't been able to go and watch them. But yeah, it's been 2 years already.
That's it. Do you have plans to open more offices, or is that just the all good for the time being?
Well, I think in case my practice manager ever watches this, I'd best say that no, there's no further plans to open any more.
No further plans. Okay, so just going back to the community aspect, while you say that it's good that teams are doing well, that's not the overriding thing, is it, for your sponsorship? It's the community involvement that you get more out of, I would say, than just.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that sort of being part of the community and being able to support, the people that, work at the clubs and that play for the clubs as well is really important to us. And, over the past few years, being able to support those clubs and the people that are involved in them is sort of really important to us. And yeah, it doesn't matter if they're sort of winning or losing, we enjoy coming along all the same.
See, I think this year through us and yourselves, you've got involved with Run Free as well with Chris Phillips at the Echo.
Yeah, we've been working with Chris Phillips and Run Free, and we helped them to produce their kits that they'll be playing in. And I think that mental health is such an important topic at the moment. So it was really sort of important for us to sort of, help Chris in his venture to, get men talking about mental health and getting into sport as well. So yeah, it's been really good helping them.
That's right. We had a game of cricket against them earlier in the summer. I think just by chance I saw Chris, and he was talking about it, and we said about it, and I said, "Well, we'll play you." And it's a great charity, really. They've now sort of become our charity partners, so to speak, at the club. So any sort of relationship like that works well, I think. And I think the idea this year is that we push that game on even further, because it was a bit short notice. But with your involvement and that, then hopefully make a proper day of it this year when we can.
It's something to look forward to.
It is, yeah. I think. Did you get involved with the volunteer service as well, I believe? Did that come about?
Yeah, so are you talking about is it SAVs?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah. So we've tried to sort of help many charities and sort of communities over this year.
That's it. I think we found as a cricket club that one of the things that we're trying to get away from was it's not all about the first team. It's about community involvement, interacting with local charities, not so much local businesses, but just good causes. And I think that fits well with what you guys do, because as you say, it's not all about the first team winning. It's about more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's become a much bigger thing over the years. Certainly you find now that every team seems to want to get heavily involved in the community.
No, that's true. I think it's the best way forward. I mean, so going on the back of what's been announced recently, last year we had some good plans with yourselves and say the rugby club, we were going to have the games involving them, but it didn't happen for obviously COVID reasons. That's something you'd be looking forward to this year, getting those games back involved.
I think you have to look forward to things like that. That's what's sort of keeping us all going, looking forward to what we can do, hopefully in the sort of summer.
No, that's true. I mean, one thing we've got is the ladies' day at the club. I believe you'll be putting in a team, will you, Natalie? I'll put you on the spot there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get some of the ladies at work to come and play. I mean, at Paul Robinson Solicitors, we're a 90% female firm, so I'm sure that we'll have more than enough. women to be able to make a team up. So yeah, hopefully we've been really looking forward to that, and it's such a shame that we couldn't do it last year. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do it this year.
Yeah, that's just as you say, that's a shame. It's not about people playing cricket. It's just about getting people in a park almost, and a community day where families can get together and do things like that. That's the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so that's great. I mean, so just what's the plans for Paul Robinson with sport? Is it just to go see what goes, and then just hopefully things get better?
Yeah, I think obviously we've been in contact with the sports clubs during the various lockdowns, but we're all very excited to get back out and play sport and watch sport. And I imagine the plan would be to see and play as much sport as possible once we're allowed to.
That's it. Yeah, I think from a cricket club perspective, that's our plan, to get out there and play and just get people involved again. It was a hard summer last year for a number of reasons, but it'll be good to start all over again, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
So just to sum up, thank you very much for your time. I mean, so it'd be good to see you at the club, and let's hope for a bit more of a settled summer.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, let's look forward to that.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much for your time, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. Take care.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thanks.